Sanofi, GSK start new COVID-19 vaccine study after failed trial. Biden will honor 500K U.S. COVID-19 deaths with candlelighting ceremony. South African COVID-19 variant found on Long Island. New York City businesses are barely hanging on. A conservative caucus in the House will begin circulating a playbook on how Republicans plan to oppose President Biden's $1.9 trillion coronavirus relief package, targeting liberal goodies hidden inside the bill, according to a report on Monday. The three-page memo, penned by the Republican Study Committee, will be distributed later in the day to lawmakers and urges them to highlight all the left-wing items Democrats are hoping the public won't find about. Fox News report. Representative Jim Banks, the chairman of the RSC, said taxpayers need to be informed about what's contained in the stimulus. The RSC is leading conservatives inside and outside the Beltway in opposition to this so-called relief package. The more we learn about it, the worse it sounds, Banks, Republican Indiana, told Fox. That's why we've put together a fact sheet to educate Americans exactly how their taxpayer dollars are being spent by Democrats. The memo points to $1,400 checks going to mixed-status families with undocumented immigrants, providing Planned Parenthood with Paycheck Protection Funds designated for small businesses, and roughly $600 billion for emergency paid leave for federal employees. It also calls out subsidies and loan forgiveness to farmers and ranchers based on their race and ethnicity, funds going to colleges that partner with Chinese-controlled companies and Confucius Institutes, and $50 million for environmental programs in what the RSC described as a thinly veiled kickback to leftist environmental groups. The memo also warns that business owners who could have a felony record, including violent criminals, may be eligible for PP. The House Banking Committee is expected to take up the bill on Monday, with a full House vote coming as early as Representative Steve Scalise, the House Republican whip, has already told the GOP conference to vote no on House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's payoff to progressive. The White House unveiled the stimulus package on Friday and touted it as essential to reopening schools, providing financial aid to struggling families, assisting state and local governments, getting small businesses on a stable footing, and ramping up the healthcare response to the pandemic. We are in a race against time, and aggressive, bold action is needed before our nation is permanently scarred by the human and economic costs of inaction, said House Budget Committee Chairman John Yarmuth. The legislation, along with the stimulus checks, would also extend employment benefit. 29. Biden's plan also calls for a $15 federal minimum wage.